Have you ever wondered, does God know where you are? My guests can answer that for you. Hang on. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Tina.
It's so nice to have you on my show. I'm so excited.
Yay, me too.
Yeah, Robin is a writer as well as a wonderful photographer. She actually did a lot of pictures that are in my Anchor Moments book. Robin, can you tell me that special story you mentioned to me before when we were having breakfast together? How you know God knows where you are?
Yes, I've got two stories. One of them is about myself and another is about a friend, and I have permission to share that. But the first one, both of these stories actually take place in Europe. And if you look behind me, there's a picture of Paris. This first story takes place in Paris. And I lived in Colombes, France, right next to Paris, in 1992 and 93. I was a nanny and a student there. And I lived there for a little over a year. And I was about to go home. Within the next few days, I would be going home to Arizona, United States. And I had mixed feelings about that. I love America. I also love France. And I was just not sure if I was ready to go. But I laid down on my bed one night. I wasn't quite tired, ready to go to bed, but I was just feeling like I needed to just rest and relax for a few minutes and ponder. And I had kind of a dream, although it wasn't quite a sleep. I know what a sleep feels like. Mm-hmm. This was a little different. It was more like a vision and seemed kind of random. There I am in my bed, and on my bed rather. And I imagined these people in water, standing in water. It came up to about their chest level, and they were hailing, the word to describe, they were hailing this woman. And she was some great woman for some reason. There's angels kind of hailing her as well from above. And I'm like, that's interesting. Okay, great, whatever. Well, the very next morning, as planned, I went with my friend Vannery to the Orsay Museum, the Musée d'Orsay. Pardon my French. Anyway, and we went there. I'd never been there. Mm-hmm. And so we went into this beautiful museum, kind of like the Louvre, only a different one. And they have a lot of Van Gogh and all kinds of stuff. And they have lots of small paintings, more like 2 feet long. They have, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet long. We get into this one room though, and it was the most beautiful, ornate room that we went to anyway in that museum. We get in there, and there's this one painting that's over 9.5 feet tall and about 7 feet wide. And it's not on a wall like most of the paintings are, but it's kind of almost a centerpiece, like on a stand or an easel of some kind. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's gorgeous. And I said to my friend Vannery immediately, that's what I dreamt last night. That's what I saw in my dream last night. And my first thought was, wow, no matter where I am, I can be in Arizona, I can be in France, I could be anywhere, I could be on the moon. It doesn't matter. God knows where I am, and he knows where I'm going to be tomorrow. And however many tomorrows in the distance, he knows where I'm going to be at all of those. And to me, it was a hug, and it was to me also, I'm okay wherever I'm at. God knows me, he loves me, and I'm going to be okay wherever I'm at.
He's with you, because he's with you.
Yeah, he's with me, and he knows how to communicate with me and let me know. And I've had numerous friends tell me stories similar to that, in that some way God tells them, I know where you are. And no matter where you are, you cannot go far enough for him to not know where you are. And even if
not be able to find you.
And even if no other person on the planet knows where you are, he will know where you are. And if he needs and wants to help you get out of that, he will send help. You can be sure of that. I want to tell you one more story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now this is about my friend Elizabeth Grosh, and I asked to share her story in an article that I wrote last year. Well, when she was 7 years old, and this was in the 1970s, her family was about to move to Coburg, Germany. She had grown up here, lived the first 7 years of her life in Arizona, in fact. Didn't know anything about Germany. She was like, oh my goodness, this is a brand new land. They had never even visited, even though her parents were both from there. They decided to go and live in Coburg, Germany, and stay with her grandfather for a while. They wound up staying for about 1.5 years. Well, she was nervous as a 7-year-old. She's like, how am I going to get around? I don't know this place. And just shortly before leaving to go, she had this really pleasant dream. She remembers the light was beautiful. It was very sunny out. And she saw this street, and it was a pretty street. There were some of the architecture that I love, with the exposed timbers, very German style, if you know what I mean. And she also remembers specifically seeing a store on the bottom of one of the buildings. Like it was somebody lived up top, and there was a brick store on the bottom, and beautiful street. Well, anyway, she felt at peace, and she didn't really know why, but her anxiety had left right after that dream. Her anxiety about moving. Well, anyway, she didn't realize the significance until shortly thereafter, and she was walking to school in Coburg, Germany with one of her older sisters, and she recognizes the street. The first leg of that 10-minute walk to school, her new school, was what she saw in her dream. She saw the brick building that was the store down below the house where people live. She saw what they call Fachwerk, pardon my German this time, that style on Eupenstrasse, that street where her grandfather lived. And she felt like, God knows where I am. Her family was not religious yet. They would become religious later, years later. But she felt okay. She knew she would be okay, and later realized that was how God was telling her, Elizabeth, I know where you are, and I will always know where you are.
Yeah, and you never get lost with God.
Never get lost with him, no.
Yeah, never get lost.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Robin.
You're
if
welcome.
any of you out there listening to this, if you've had a special dream where you felt God's presence and that grace and peace, and it helped you to know something special, please write about that in the comment section below. And if you'd like to see some of Robin's pictures, you can check them out in my book, and you can also check them out on her website. Thank you so much for coming, everybody, and hang on to those anchor moments. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Please click to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when we post new Anchor Moments videos.